This ain't financial advice. Charles Hoskinson put out a very interesting video the other day. It was called Thoughts on the Market and Ecosystem. And it was a very, very good video. I highly suggest that you go and watch it after you're done watching this video, liking and subscribing to it. It was good because he talked about all the good things that are coming, and he talked about the market, a little bit about the price and how it can be utterly depressing. Now, I'm sure everybody's a little bit pumped up today because the market's up. But in reality, if you're judging the value of these projects, as I've said time and time again, by the price of the coin, that's the wrong way to do it. You have to value them by the ecosystems they're creating, by the value and utility that they're bringing to the market. How will this be useful in the future? And it's a funny quote. Have you ever seen the Ali G thing? If video games have taught me anything, it's that if you encounter enemies, then you're going the right way. It's so true. You can look at it in so many cases and instances in human history. I mean, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, they had a timeless rivalry up until even the point that Steve Jobs passed away. Elon Musk wants to go to space, and Neil Armstrong spoke out against him. Whenever new people enter a space, they always are going to face an opposition. And a lot of that, I think, has to do with people's egos. Look at two of the most outspoken people, or three of them for that matter, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Jamie Dimon, against cryptocurrencies. You know, Jamie Dimon said, stay away from cryptocurrencies a couple days ago. Bill Gates said cryptocurrencies, he wishes it was something that we could uninvent or the world could do without. Warren Buffett said it's rat poison squared. Now look at those people and what sector do they represent? Two of them represent the financial sector, which Charles was talking about in the video the other day, which is hundreds of years old at this point, and the technology sector. Now, these are multi-billion and trillion-dollar industries, okay? Now, when you're the head of a multi-billion or trillion-dollar industry, there's an ego that's going to come along with that, whether you like it or not. And that ego is a self-preservation mechanism. That's something that does go to people's heads. People say, I created this thing. I am in charge of this financial institution. I am in charge of this technology that changed the world. And they want to protect that legacy. And that's completely human. It's completely normal. It's completely natural. What also is completely natural is disruptors. People who come along and change the status quo. That has happened as long as human beings have walked this earth. Man created fire, then they created light bulb. Man created the horse and buggy, then he created the car. Man created the airplane, then he created the rocket ship. Opposition will always come against you. Now, if you're an innovator of any type in any space in your life, just remember this. There's only one person that ever needs to believe in you, and that person is you. You can go look at it in the mirror. Unfortunately, the people at the top, sometimes they don't want you to succeed. You would think if you brought a revolutionary technology to market, people like Bill Gates would embrace it. They would see the value in it. Now, you can't tell me that Bill Gates doesn't see the innovative genius behind something like a blockchain or like a cryptocurrency, okay? He said, I believe in companies that have some type of output. Okay. Well, what about being able to send money borderlessly across the world to anybody at any time without a third party interfering with that? You don't see value in that? You don't see that as a form of output? Because currently, I don't know any other way that you can do it other than blockchain and cryptocurrency technology. So when you look at something like Ethereum, which has a $500 billion market cap, it had a $500 billion market cap at its all-time high, and JP Morgan, which has close to a $500 billion market cap, well, Ethereum is a broken product. JP Morgan, not a broken product. It's more of an American product, if I understand correctly. But it's an age-old product. It doesn't need to be disrupted in their minds. Of course it doesn't. It's a $500 billion product. Now, when you see something like Ethereum reach a $500 billion market capitalization, you start to go, what is this? That is scary, especially when it's a product that's broken and doesn't totally work properly. And then you see things like Cardano coming. And you say, hey, that thing might actually work. Cryptocurrency bad. What else can they do? They're not developers. They're not engineers. They're not mathematicians, computer scientists, other than put it down. The same is true for people like Bill Gates. He doesn't want his legacy disrupted. Cryptocurrency reached $2 trillion in market capitalization. Microsoft has a $1.88 trillion market capitalization. Do you think that cryptocurrencies individually, other than Bitcoin, will reach over $1 trillion in the future? Comment down below. Do you think Cardano will reach over $1 trillion in the next 5 to 10 years? Comment down below. Do you think that someday cryptocurrency technology will be at a higher valuation than companies like Microsoft, like Apple, like Google, like Facebook? Comment down below. They're a combination of technology and of finance. It's a beautiful marriage made in heaven. Okay? And it's that because, well, it actually takes finance and it reinvents it. And it packages it in something that anybody around the entire world can use. Show me where that existed before. It's not only open and available to so many people of this certain caste or social class or whatever you want to call it. Anybody can access it at any time and it equals the playing field. If that's not a disruption, tell me what is. This is the first time in human history that people who've been taken advantage of will actually get a fair shake. And that's, I think, what any of us are looking for in life is a fair shake, a fair deal. Not where central bankers are completely taking advantage of us, overcharging us, and working us through the mill like they have for years and years and years. Now, I'm kind of channeling a little bit of Charles in that speech if you watch this video, but there's some truth to that. And you could say the same thing about big tech. And if you don't think big tech sees the blockchain community as a threat to their own existence, you're sadly mistaken. Why do you think they're trying to jump into it themselves? JP coin, Facebook trying to do a coin. Everybody's trying to do a coin, but it's not. That's the beauty of this community, is that it's like, what was that Google social network? It was like Google Plus. No one jumped on it. The best blockchains occur organically. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. They happen organically. They're like plants. I think Charles said they're like weeds. You can't get rid of them. You can't just create a social network. We can go clone a social network tomorrow. No one will be on it more than likely. Okay? We can go just put money at something to create something. But if the people aren't there to use it, it is useless. So that is a scary thing. And deep down, those people, those heads of industry know that. The best things, they happen organically. Facebook happened organically. Okay? It became a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, but it still happened organically. Now we have things like Ethereum and Cardano coming, okay? And similar to Facebook, people are able to launch their own little independent businesses off of those chains. Just like they did with Facebook stores. Now you're launching your own lending platform off the Cardano blockchain. Now, if you don't think someone like JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs or any of these age-old financial institutions around the world aren't hip to what's going on, you're kidding yourself. And I'd love to hear your comment down below. You know, you can try to shut this thing down, but I think it's kind of past the Rubicon, as they say. And there's an old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. Well, guess what, folks? We're at the point where they're trying to join them. They're just trying to figure out how so they can get their greasy little hooks in us. And I'm going to tell you, hold on to your Cardano. Not financial advice, but hold on tight, because there's going to be a lot of volatility. It'll be like putting a bunch of potatoes in a sack and shaking them around, okay? Trying to get the dust off. They are going to want to take your Cardano. They're going to want to take your Ethereum. They're going to want to take your Bitcoin. so they can have it themselves and then redistribute it to their wealthy clients. Folks, I hope that you have taken some information, some knowledge, and I've spread some good perspective here on this happy Memorial Day. And if I don't see you, I'll see you on the internet. I'm out.